What's up everybody, it's Lids and we're back for some more Gwent, and today we're going to be playing more of the dual casting seasonal event, which is an alternate game mode in which the first special card that we play on our turn, we play twice. That gives us some crazy combos to try out, and today we're going to be using a new monsters deck that destroys its own units to get boosts. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, so let's check it out. So today we'll be playing an Arachas Swarm Monsters deck, so whenever we play an organic card, we will spawn in a drone. And this is a pretty aggressive damaging deck, so we do have a lot of organic cards, and those drones can actually be pretty significant, as you will soon see. The key cards of this deck are going to be the She-Troll of Vergen, who gets boosted by 2 whenever we destroy a unit on our turn, as well as the Vran Warriors that get boosted by 1 whenever we destroy a unit on our turn, so basically just a weaker version of the She-Troll. And we built our entire deck around those cards, so we want to play them as many times and create as many copies of them as we possibly can. For that reason, we have Caranthir, who can create a copy of the She-Troll as long as she's in our hand. And if we have Idarran on the playing field when we do that, then we can create an additional copy of the She-Troll. Just bear in mind, She-Troll needs to be in the melee row, so make sure you set this up properly. Then we also have Renew to replay She-Troll from our graveyard, as well as the new Megascope card to create a copy of the Vran Warriors, and Necromancy to play those Vran Warriors from our graveyard in a future round. So those are the units that get boosted when we destroy other units, but what units are we destroying and how do we destroy them? Well, we have some damaging cards that can destroy some units on our opponent's side, like Lacerate, Parasite, even Predatory Dive, or Natural Selection. And then because those are all organic cards, that means they will also spawn in a 1-power drone on our side, and we want as many 1-power units, whether they're on our opponent's side or our side, as possible, because then we can play Yennefer of Vengerberg in the melee row to destroy all those units, boosting the She-Trolls of Vergen and the Vran Warriors. Alternatively, if we can't get Yennefer, then we have Forkatil as a backup. This is just 1 damage rather than 2, so it might not be able to destroy quite as many cards, but because we're spawning in a bunch of 1-power drones whenever we play an organic card, that guarantees that we get at least a decent amount of kills with it. Then we also have cards like Noonwraith and Nightwraith that are here because when they get destroyed, they spawn in additional 1-power units either on our opponent's side or our side. We don't really care where they end up. As long as they're there and have 1 power, we can destroy them with Yennefer or the Forktails. So these cards are a bit of a trap for our opponent because usually players will have a lot of damage in this seasonal event, so we may be able to trick them into destroying these cards and helping us in the process. So I've basically described every card in the deck at this point, but I'll flip through the deck just to show you what else we have. Olgierd, I don't think I mentioned before. We have him because he is good when you're on blue coin, playing first. You play him, and assuming your opponent is hoping to damage or destroy whatever card you play first, he can't actually take any damage unless he gets locked, so nice way to shut down your opponents. And so if you combine him with a bunch of organic cards to just destroy any unit that your opponent plays, that can oftentimes be enough to take round 1. Matta for card draw, of course. And of course, as always, I've left the deck list and deck link in the description, so you have everything you need right there if you want to play this deck for yourself. And we don't have great outright removal, so Spores is actually quite relevant. So there's a look at the deck, and like I said, it focuses on playing a bunch of units that get boosted whenever we destroy cards, and then destroying a bunch of units, including even our own. So while this deck is a bit of a meme, it's strong enough and is capable of catching our opponents off guard, so by the time our opponent figures out what we're doing, it may be too late for them to stop us. So let's go try it out. Alright, so going against a fellow monsters deck here, and we'll go first. Then we need She-Troll in our hand, so let's do whatever we can do to make that happen. There we go. And we're going first here, so let's put out Olgierd. I like starting with him because even if they have damage, they obviously can't damage him. And in this event, everybody wants to deal damage. They're going with the Cave Troll, which suggests they're going for something big here quite soon. Which means that something like Predatory Dive is quite tempting, although if we can wait 1 turn, we can potentially get both the Cave Troll and whatever big card they're planning to play. So let's go with Matta for now. I'll get Oneiromancy from it. Okay, so they play the Fletter, and I'm not sure if that's necessarily the big card they're planning on protecting with that Cave Troll, but now is probably still the best time for Predatory Dive. First, let's go Arachas Swarm. That gives us a 1-power unit that will end up destroying from Predatory Dive, which we don't care about losing. So we do it once, and we get rid of one, then that will spawn in another drone, so we'll remove that with the second round, so we're not losing anything big, and we take out both of their big cards. Then Crimson Curse, definitely a big card. But, which row are they doing this in? Range row does make sense, although Olgierd won't get damage from it, so that's kind of nice. And then they do go melee row. So that means that drone will go down at the end of this turn. And tell you what, that does actually help us, because that means we can guarantee that one of our units will get destroyed at the end of this turn. So let's go with our big combo here. First, Idarran. Make sure this is in the melee row, of course, because that's where the units will spawn in. Sheet Roll is row locked. Then, we go with Caranthir. Make the copies of Sheet Roll. And this deck is great in this event because we can play both those cards on the same turn. And these are both 1 power units, so they would normally be quite vulnerable. But because that drone will get destroyed at the end of our turn, that helps us boost the Sheet Rolls. And then we can throw on that tactic for a little more boosting. So there we go. With that unit getting destroyed, at least our weakest Sheet Roll is up to 3 at this point. Then they go Necromancy. Oh, they actually try to bleed the Sheet Roll with Veil on it, so that obviously doesn't work. But if you want to bleed the other units, then that's actually perfectly alright. They've already done their job for the most part, so you can get rid of them at this point. They're just going to boost the Sheet Rolls. Now let's go with maybe a Nightwraith to give us more units to destroy to set up those Sheet Rolls. Okay, Natural Selection might destroy Sheet Roll here, although it may also give them some 1-power units that can help set up our remaining Sheet Roll when we destroy those. And yeah, that is what they choose to do. And then that destruction there boosts our 1 remaining Sheet Roll. This damage that they're dealing is actually not that bad, but let's get out a Vran Warrior here to make up for the Sheet Roll that we lost. And losing Matta boosts both the Vran Warrior and the Sheet Roll. Now Orianna, we do have a fair number of bleeding units, or at least will at the end of our turn here. So that will boost her a bit. But let's go with the Forkatil here, because we have enough 1-strength units that this can give us a lot of boosts. Then Queen of the Night, they're going melee row for more bleed, understandably. But again, we're fine with losing anything other than Vran Warrior and Sheet Roll, because they'll just boost those guys. Now let's go Parasite on Orianna, because she's their biggest engine by far. Okay, now Naglfar, what are they going to get with this? Oh, wow. That's Detloff. That's aggressive. Not really sure they wanted to play him this late in the round. So we're forcing them to play some pretty big cards here. And that's Unseen Elder as well. So they're going all in here. Those are 2 of their biggest cards remaining, so not sure what they're going to have left over at the end of this. So with that being said, I think we actually pass here and know that we have gotten rid of 2 of, if not more, their biggest cards. They still need to play another card here, Natural Selection, in order to catch up. And that means they will have enough points here to take the round 1 win, but at what cost? Because I'd argue they overcommitted a lot. In which case, I like our chances in round 2 and round 3. So now, I like this hand here. We might just keep this. And they dry pass because they played 1 more card than us, so we're looking for just a throwaway here. In which case, I think we're looking at Oneiromancy into probably the Noonwraith and Nightwraith. So we'll get you down, and then let's get you down as well. And that sets us up for the round 2 win. And then with Oneiromancy, we can get Yen for the destruction, so we don't need Forkatil. Let's play the Vran Warrior, set ourselves up for doing that destruction. Then they go Yiggern. And, ooh, this is an interesting one. Big card, of course, which does mean something like Predatory Dive is tempting, although if we can wait a turn to get rid of another card along with it, that's probably preferable. So let's take a turn here to set up some of our units that we want to get destroyed. So Nightwraith, then the other Vran Warrior. Okay, oh, but then they go Parasite, okay. Was hoping they were going to play a big unit that we could use to double down on that Predatory Dive, but now that's, we might need to get some other engines out there first. Let's go with our combo we were using in round 1, this time with the help from Renew. So, Idarran plus Caranthir. Again, needs to be melee row. Take a couple copies of Sheet Roll. So now we're set up for some big points, though we need to be careful of Predatory Dive now, because those Sheet Rolls have 1 power, and therefore we could end up accidentally destroying one of them if we are to use Predatory Dive. They're going with the Fletter. This is a card that they were hoping to turn into a big card in round 1, but we didn't let them. But I think let's Oneiromancy here, and create more copies of the Nightwraith. And then in round 2, let's use Natural Selection, deal some damage here, and give us more units that we'll end up destroying. Okay, Bruxa will, of course, provide some bleed. In this case, yeah, they're putting it on a Sheet Roll, understandably. That means we have some time pressure on us to do some destruction now. We can't go with Yennefer because she would actually destroy the Sheet Rolls as well, so let's actually reset them. And now let's use Natural Selection to get rid of the Fletter, and that will destroy a unit on our turn, boosting up the Sheet Roll, and now making even the one with bleed not as vulnerable. Okay, then Plumbered, more bleed, but again, bleed, of course, is slow for damage, and even if you hit the Sheet Roll here, that's not going to be enough to take it out immediately. So I think we play our original Sheet Roll now. That way we have all of our big engines out there. So we're absolutely set up for dealing the damage now, although the other Sheet Roll is now back down to 1 strength, so we need to be mindful of that. Plumbered, again, more bleed, but again, it's slow. And so you're not actually going to have time to destroy that Sheet Roll. And you're looking at this and you're saying, Leeds, well, what do you destroy now? We're out of ways to take out those drones without taking out the Sheet Roll. To which I say, I don't know. Are we? Because yes, we had a bunch of weak units and we could go either melee row or range row here, but we'll go range row in the interest of not dealing a lot of unnecessary damage to units that we actually want to keep. And yeah, I doubt they saw that one coming either. They just pass. So at this point, I mean, sure, we'll throw out the remaining Arachas swarms for good measure, and then I guess Predatory Dive, why not? Now we can safely use this because we have all of our Sheet Rolls above 1 power, and we'll throw in the last one as well, and there you have it. Trolling our way to victory. So there's a look at a hilariously fun, self-destructing monsters deck for the new dual casting seasonal event. If you liked the video, then make sure to hit the like and subscribe button, and leave a comment down below. Let me know which other cards, archetypes, and factions you'd like us to experiment with next. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you next time.